Welcome back for another episode. Today, I had the absolute pleasure to sit down with Tom Coelli-Donaghy, who is a board member of the FabAlice Festival. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, I've got no idea what the FabAlice Festival, you were not alone. I got invited to the launch party in Sydney earlier in the month, and it looked great, but I had no idea what the festival was about. I can't wait for you to listen to Tom as he explains what this absolutely fabulous, and yes, I'm going to use that because it's in the title, FabAlice Festival is all about. I'm your host, Dion Alexander, Mr. Gay Pride Australia 2022, and you're listening to Our Pride by Mr. Gay Pride Australia. Today, friends, I am joined by a very special guest as I sit here at the Hay Mardi Gras at Rainbow on the Plains. Tom from FabAlice, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problems. Now, I met you last year here at the Rainbow on the Plains Festival. Since connected through all of the socials, and you invited me to an amazing launch party the other week for a festival that you're a part of.
Exactly, yeah.
So I just wanted to know a little bit more about you, so tell the listeners a little bit more about yourself, and then also the festival, FabAlice, which I have to say, just the title sounds absolutely fabulous to start with.
It is.
And tell us a little bit more about your involvement with FabAlice.
Yeah, awesome. So my husband and I spent the last 10 years in Alice Springs, and in that time worked in tourism and got connected to the board of FabAlice. So I'm the secretary of the board and also look after the governance and risk stuff, which doesn't sound that exciting, but it needs to be done. So we've been on the board now for about 3 years, and our festival's coming up to its 5th year, and a very important one. We're celebrating 30 years of Priscilla.
Awesome. Yeah. So I believe that the FabAlice Festival is a little bit more centered around Priscilla and celebrating Priscilla and drag performances and that sort of stuff.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So Dion, that's why we went back to the Imperial Hotel.
Yep.
We took the festival launch back to where Priscilla started, which was the Imperial Hotel in Sydney, and we're going to end it with our festival in March out at Alice Springs. So most people would know where Priscilla ends is in Alice Springs and at the Lassiter's Casino, and the idea of FabAlice was brought around by a few people sitting around having a beer like, hey, we don't have any celebration for Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, so why don't we have a festival? And it's grown and grown over the years, and we've now got a 4-day festival full of activities attributed to Priscilla. And Lassiter's, the casino, is actually our festival hub. So
that's great.
It's a full circle, starting at the Imperial, back to Lassiter's.
That is fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Now, I want to get to that 4-day schedule, so hold on to that because it was action-packed. I saw it at the launch, and we were sitting there going,
lots happening.
This looks great. We got to go. We got to go, including a quarry party, can I just say?
Yes,
but
absolutely.
we're going to touch on that.
Yep.
It did say about the festival being started by an amazing board. I believe the festival was actually started by a straight man.
A straight man, yep. A straight man who loves Priscilla and loves everything Pride and everything inclusive. So our chair, you may have met him at the launch in Sydney. He and his wife are on the board. And we've got a very unique makeup of our board. So we've got about 50% people who are queer and 50% of people who are not. And the mix of that really came around because, as you mentioned, our chair was a straight person who was sitting around with some mates and said, why don't we have that Priscilla Festival? So really unique makeup of the board. We've got people on the board from all parts of Australia, actually. So we've got people in Darwin, Brisbane, us down in Wodonga, some people in Alice Springs as well, and we all come together to put the festival on. So it's really exciting.
That is, and that it just blows my mind because we're sitting here in Hay. And This Rainbow on the Plains Festival was started by straight women going to Mardi Gras, and then there's this amazing Pride Festival that now there's a lot of obviously LGBTQIA plus people that are on the Hay Mardi Gras board and really drive this festival here. And then I hear there's a straight man that was in tourism that was like, why are we not cashing in on this Priscilla thing?
That's right.
That started this fabulous festival up in Alice. And just I think the allyship within
absolutely
the Alice community, and obviously linking it back to where we are in this festival here in Hay. I just think it's fabulous. We've
It
got straight allies that are coming and helping us put on these amazing events.
Yeah, and it's driven by straight people, but so queer friendly, and we have so many things about helping others who may not understand the queer community.
Yep.
So we've got education sessions that we provide free to community members around LGBTIQA+.
Yep.
And you can go in and community members who may not be familiar can hear from a trans doctor who works in health and has worked in health for 30 years around the importance of being inclusive.
Yep.
And how we can continue to be inclusive in the future. So
yep.
it's really important that we're having those conversations, and really good that we've got those allies who are helping us have the conversation.
And I think, like, when we go to these regional festivals, this is my second time here in Hay, and I looked at FabAlice and I was like, this is another great example of really having an impact in the community.
That's right.
And when you talk about having education, like it's key. You can see it here in Hay, how that this week they've sort of had all of the flags, and they've had massive placards about what the flags mean.
Yep.
What does that education and the festival mean for the queer community in Alice Springs?
Yeah, growing up regional, I didn't grow up in Alice Springs, but it's a similar type setting. I can imagine the people in Alice Springs are probably a little bit reluctant to be themselves at times. Yeah. And over the years, that's changed, and we're having good conversations. But what we do with the festival is give people a safe space, and we give people a space to connect with others and just feel inclusive and valued. And they really get to own it. We've seen it here with Hay this weekend, like everyone coming out. And in fact, actually, even the allies have owned it as well. You mentioned about the shops. The whole street's covered in rainbow flags, and it's amazing. So it's a really good conversation starter, a really good way to make people feel safe, included, and valued. And I can imagine for people who are in Alice Springs, so being in a regional area, it is really good to be able to have those moments where you do feel included and you get to celebrate yourself and love and your community.
Awesome. The schedule. I have to go there. If I go to FabAlice, which we need to, like,
you better have your tickets booked.
The Mr. Gay Pride Australia contingent. When Tony and I were at the launch party, he's like, "This is fabulous," and I was like, "Yeah, this seems like next level."
It is next level. Yeah.
What should we expect when we go to FabAlice? What's on the schedule? Who's going to be there?
I know.
Can you slip any gossip?
I can try and give some hints about our main acts that we do have. We do have a bunch of performers, and I'll start with the start of the festival, which we have a 4-day festival kicking off on the Thursday. We have a launch party at Lassiter's, which is essentially our hub.
Yep.
As I mentioned, that's where Priscilla started. So we'll have a sing-along to the 30-year anniversary of Priscilla.
Yep.
Sing-along live interaction show of the movie at Lassiter's. So you can imagine how fun that's going to be, and you need to dress up.
Ooh.
So start thinking of your costume already. Then we move into the Friday, and this is where the action really starts to ramp up. So we have the community education sessions, and then we move to a night market down the Todd Mall, which is one of the main streets in Alice Springs. So food bands, entertainers. It's a night full of fun and free for everyone. So we get several thousand people down in the community having a party and watching drag shows and singing and dancing. So it's a whole heap of fun. After that, we've got our burlesque and comedy show, and we've got a big headliner coming for that. I can't drop their name just yet, but watch our socials because it is coming. So think Queen of Australian Theatre, and that's who will be joining us. So that's our Friday night. Saturday night is kind of our flagship, and there's a little bit of recovery time during the Saturday, which is needed.
It's important because
it's important. You can't keep going.
I'm thinking already, and I'm like, man, I need a nap.
Yeah, that's right. So Saturday night we have our gala under the stars, which the setting is in an old quarry, and one side of the quarry is sheer rock face, which is all lit up and all dramatic and got that's the backdrop for our performers. And then you look out and it's rolling hills and desert. So you're in red dirt. Everyone's dressed up to the nines, either in costumes or full gala outfits, dancing in the dirt to some crazy acts. We've got a bunch of drag performers. We've got the headliners who I can't announced just yet, but they're very well known in Australia, and they're going to be ready to celebrate the night. And if you're ready to kick on after that, we have an after party back at Lassiter's, and that goes till late in the morning. I don't know if I can make it through after the quarry.
I was going to say, like, this is action-packed already. I reckon.
Yep.
Oh, my old man spirit inside is going to want a nap.
Yeah,
but
me too.
Especially, I've seen some of those photos, and it was on the footage of the launch video,
Yes.
the quarry party. That just looks absolutely stunning.
It is, yeah, absolutely, absolutely stunning. A very unique location, and I think that that's what makes our event different to some others. Is we use the natural landscape, and it really contrasts and makes this really unique setting. So it's awesome to be able to show Alice Springs in a positive light.
Right, yep.
To be able to show, our home where we come from. There's a lot of negative media sometimes around what happens in Alice Springs, but what we know is we have a very loving, accepting, inclusive community. And you'll see that when you come along. Everyone joins in on the party. And it doesn't matter if you're straight, gay, it doesn't matter. We just are all there for a good time. And it's beautiful.
That's awesome, and that's how it should be.
Yeah.
So after party, Saturday night.
Yeah,
I definitely led you down a path there. That's what I do. Lead people astray sometimes.
Yeah.
So, after party. Then, what happens on Sunday?
Sunday. So, bit of a recovery. Drag Queen Bingo.
Oh.
Drag Queen Bingo with our hosts, Marzipan and Miscellaneous. And it is a whole heap of fun. So 600 people we're expecting for bingo. So it's pretty big.
That's massive.
And decent prizes. I think last year there were hot air balloon flights over the Red Centre. So
no.
Yeah, absolutely. We should get you in the hot air balloon while you're up there.
Great.
Yeah.
Let's do a podcast episode in a hot air balloon.
Yeah.
There we are.
And we've got a pool party as well. So a bit of recovery by the pool at
That's
Lassiter.
where Tony's going to be. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Yep, we'll be there as well. So, pool party, Lassiter's again, DJ, few cocktails. I should mention as well, we also partner with a lot of local businesses and put on what we call partner events. And that's essentially where we say, hey, if you want to hold something for the FabAlice weekend, go ahead and make it your own and keep in theme with FabAlice. So, the pubs, there's some pubs that do things like sing-along events or lip-sync battles and fashion shows. There's a whole heap that happens across Alice Springs for the weekend. So as well as our program, you can find other little events going on over the weekend.
That is great. Now, did I see on the schedule too something about a tour?
Absolutely. We're starting tours this year. So drag queens, buses around the Red Centre. What other way would you want to see Alice Springs and the surrounding areas?
I can't think of another way. No. Some fabulous queens showing me around. Yeah, I'm there. Sold.
And you'll go to some really special and beautiful places. We've got waterholes and gorges just outside of town, as well as some really good lookouts. So it'll be really good to get around and see the local area.
Yeah. I think that's important too. Like when we went for Mr. Gay Pride Australia and we were in Hay, like we went to a local childcare centre, went to Hay Days, which is the, want of a better term, the old people's home. But it's really good to see the community, because then I think you really get, a feel for how inclusive and how accepting these regional communities are.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure you'll feel that when you come up. I think Alice Springs is definitely one of the most inclusive places that I have lived and travelled and experienced. A huge gay community or queer community, but also very diverse culturally and a spread of ages. And I think Alice Springs has kind of become a melting pot over time of people travelling and coming for experience, and then the locals who have been there forever. And somehow it's just turned into this beautiful little hub where everyone can go and you can connect and make friends easy. And so you might leave coming back to Alice Springs because you've got some new mates out there, I'm sure.
Awesome. That's what we love. I know when I walk down the streets of Hay, people are waving at me and I'm like, I think I remember who you are. But
it's like that, isn't it?
It is. I'm from Adelaide, which people call a regional town.
Oh.
Big one.
Yeah.
But same sort of vibes there. Everyone's always so happy to see you. You've got locals saying g'day to you all the time, and it's just beautiful. You really do feel welcomed, and you feel, you definitely feel the love around in the regional towns for sure.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. You noticed that here last night.
Oh yes, definitely, definitely. So, how can people get involved and find out more about the festival?
Yeah, absolutely. So go to our socials, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. You'll see a whole bunch of photos and videos from last year, and it'll give you a good idea of what to expect. Also, some inspiration for costumes, because we have some pretty amazing costumes.
I have seen. I have seen.
Yeah.
And I was stunned when I was at Mr. Gay World, and there was these national costumes, and they were extravagant, and they were beautiful, and these massive headpieces.
Yeah.
But I've seen some of those costumes on that launch video, and wow.
Speaking of headpieces, one other thing we're doing this year is Priscilla headpiece making session.
Oh, that's cool.
We're going to be on the lawns teaching people how to make their own headpiece for the gala on Saturday night.
Oh, that's cool.
Saturday, I forgot, we've got a whole community event down on the Alice Springs Council lawns, drag races. We've got drag queen story time for the kids. We've got a march through the mall. So here I am forgetting a whole day, but it's all happening.
There's too much involved in the schedule that, can't remember everything off the bat.
That's right.
Fine. And when you're in the festival, you just sort of roll from one thing to the other, right?
That's exactly right.
Go,
it just happens. Yeah.
It just happens.
And also, if you head to our website, our early bird tickets are on sale already. So go check them out. We've got a 3-day pass that we get you to some of the key events, and you can purchase for all the individual events as well. But a reminder for those who may not be able to come to all the events, that there are a whole heap of free community events that you can come along to, and we certainly encourage people to come and join those as well.
Awesome. We'll put all of those links, socials, in the show notes. So if you do want to connect, then we'll put all of that. You'll be able to click links, go straight through.
Yeah.
I encourage everyone to check it out. Is there anything else that you want to say about FabAlice Festival?
Book your tickets. You don't want to miss it. 30 years of Priscilla. It's going to be a whole heap of fun, and we'll see you in Alice Springs.
Oh, that sounds great. It is, of course, the week after Mardi Gras, it's a bit of a recovery week. Not that it sounds like a recovery, I must say, but it sounds like a better party. Yeah, it sounds like a better party than Mardi Gras.
You can say that, I won't.
I won't get in trouble for that, or maybe I will. Who knows? Yeah. Who knows? I did say I was leading people astray.
Yes, you are.
So great time, if you're heading down to Sydney, then join.
Come out to Alice Springs.
We need to get a bus from the Imperial, I think, one year, and do the whole bus.
Coming.
Oh,
it'll be coming.
This is what I like. This is what I like. I'm ruining all your future plans.
No, that's okay. It's all exciting.
It is. Great way to keep the party going after Mardi Gras. Head down FabAlice Festival. I know that just looking for the launch party, it's something that looks absolutely sensational.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something that I have marked down on my calendar that I need to go to. So I encourage everyone, check out website, socials, see what it's all about, and get involved. Tom, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks. Nice to see you again, and we'll see you in Alice Springs.
That you will.
Cheers.
First of all, I've got to thank Tom for his time. We were in Hay for the Rainbow on the Plains Festival, so to pull him aside for half an hour and have a chat about the FabAlice Festival was amazing. The FabAlice Festival will run from the 7th to the 10th of March 2024, so that is the week after Mardi Gras. And if you want any information about the festival, we'll put all of those links that we mentioned in the podcast episode in the show notes. Again, team, what a fab episode. Thank you for listening in. If you've got time, please send this to someone that needs to get a little bit more sparkle and razzle dazzle and fabulousness in their life, and get them to head to the FabAlice Festival. Please also leave us a 5-star rating and review. That helps our show get out to more people. And if there's anyone that you know that needs to listen to this episode or one of the other episodes that we've done, please send them a link. Team, you've been absolutely amazing. You've been listening to Our Pride by Mr. Gay Pride Australia.